She stormed up the gravel path like she owned it, her heels sinking into the dirt, waving a clipboard in one hand and her phone in the other. "You can't be here. This land is part of our HOA community and you don't belong." I didn't even look up from stacking the firewood by my cabin. I'd dealt with loudmouths before, but this one had a tone, like she was the sheriff of the mountain. "Ma'am," I said, "this is my cabin. And this land. It's not part of your HOA. Never was." That's when she did it. She pulled her phone to her ear, hit 911, and started yelling into the speaker. "Yes, there's a trespasser up here. He broke into a cabin. Yes, I'm the HOA president. And I demand you send someone up here now." I let out a slow breath. "Not again." She strutted toward my porch, snapping pictures of everything like she was building a case. My dog growled low from inside, sensing the heat. "Don't even think about stepping up here," I warned. But she was already halfway there when I pulled out my phone. "Better make it quick," I muttered, scrolling through old files until I found the one I kept saved for situations just like this. I didn't need to call anyone. I knew they'd come thanks to her call. Sure enough, 10 minutes later, the crunch of tires on gravel echoed through the trees. A county sheriff SUV pulled up. Karen, arms folded, walked up to the officer before he even shut the door. "Arrest him," she snapped. "He's squatting on HOA land. This is our property." The officer looked at me. I nodded slightly. Then I stepped off the porch and said just loud enough for her to hear, "Sir, do you want the quick version or the full paperwork? Because I own this entire mountain, every square inch, and I've got the title deed right here." Karen's eyes twitched. The officer raised an eyebrow. But I wasn't done. "I'm not just some guy with a cabin," I added. "You might want to check who you're talking to before you start throwing around fake authority." And that's when the tension cracked. The officer walked right past her, straight toward me. "Evening, sir," he said quietly, shaking my hand. "Didn't expect to see you up here this weekend." Karen's face paled. "Wait, what?" she stammered. "You know him?" "Ma'am," the officer said flatly, "you just called the cops on the man who owns this mountain." Karen blinked, then blinked again, and I just smiled. "Don't worry," I said. "This is just getting started." Karen's lips trembled, but she wasn't ready to back down. Entitled people never quit on the first blow. They double down. She whipped out a folded paper from her clipboard like it was a golden ticket. "I have an HOA violation notice right here. He's building a non-permitted structure. Look, right there." She pointed toward the cabin's new deck I'd finished last week. This was just the beginning.